In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these last-minute Valentine Day cards. I'll also show you how to import the image from the group's file tab and how to draw text on with your pens. So the first thing you want to do is go over to the group's page, Cricut Maker for Beginners, and click on the Files tab. I've uploaded a bunch of files into here, but the one you're looking for today is called Heart Set. Once you click on it and then click on this image again, it will download to your computer. You'll see it over here at the bottom of your Internet tab. If you click this arrow, it'll show you what folder it's in, but it will usually default download to your Downloads folder. So in Cricut Design Space, you want to upload an image. So click on Upload, and then upload an image. Click Browse to go to your Downloads folder, and then select the Heart Set image that you just downloaded from the Cricut Maker for Beginners group. You always want to select Complex at this screen. It just gives your picture the best detail. I'm just going to minimize the screen so you can see it. But this is a PNG cut file. You don't have to make any changes to it. It is transparent, and this will cut out of cardstock or vinyl or heat transfer iron-on, whatever material you choose. So just click Continue, and then make sure that you save it as a cut image. From here, in your recent upload section, you'll see the images that you've already uploaded. So select the Heart Set and click on Insert Image. And depending on which one you want to choose for your project, here is the option to select them. So this file is one solid image. There's nothing to ungroup or detach because it's just one layer. So to get a piece out, we're going to use the Slice tool. So to do that, you create a shape. I like using a square. And you can cover the image that you want. So I'll do two to show you an example. I'm going to cover this square, duplicate it again, and cover this one. Now you can only slice two objects. So if you click this gray square, hold down Shift on your keyboard, and then select the background, you can slice the two. Another way of doing that is by selecting the black background as well as the gray square with your mouse. Just make sure not to overlap the other side. Only the gray square and the background image will be selected, as you can see here in the Layers panel. So the Slice button will show up. If you have more than two images selected, like if I add this heart onto that, the Slice button will disappear. But if you take the heart off, the Slice button will reappear. So once it's sliced, you don't need this layer anymore. You want to keep the black one and the gray one, but you can get rid of this leftover piece. This one stays, this one goes. Now it doesn't matter which one you choose, but you want to fill one in to be the background. So click the image that you want to fill, and then click the contour button and select Hide All Contours. You can get out of this box by clicking the X or anywhere on the screen. Now you'll have one solid and one design. You can change the colors by using the Color Fill button over here beside the operation box. And we're going to do the same thing to this image, so it doesn't matter which one you choose to fill. Select the image, click Contour, and then Hide All Contours. You can then change the color by clicking on the Color panel box up here. Now on this side you see it's behind it. That doesn't really matter since they're going to cut separately, but if you want to see what it'll look like, you can click the Arrange button and Send to Front, and it'll put it on top of the other layer. You can also move the layers around on the side panel. I just find it's easier to use the Arrange button. So now that you have the design you want, make it how big that you want it. I'm going to make this one just a little bit smaller so it fits on 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You can see the sizes here. So I want to make sure that it's smaller than 8.5 by 11. So that's perfect. This will fit. The font I'm going to use today is I Love Glitter on DaFont. When you go to dafont.com, you can search for a font up here at the top. Once you click on the font, it'll show you the legend. So this will give you an idea of how to put the extra characters into your designs, or add tails or hearts. So with I Love Glitter, it's an underscore. So in Cricut Design Space, I will put my text. Select it to be pen. That's how I want to draw it. I'll also add underscores in between the letters so it has those hearts that we were talking about. To move it closer together, you could ungroup the letters and do them one at a time. Sometimes that's what's needed to be done for it to look proper, but this is a great font because you can just change the letter space up here and it'll bring them closer together. And once everything's overlapping, you'll see there's these little intersecting lines. To get rid of that, you just click on Weld, and then it'll be one solid pen stroke the entire way across. You can minimize this and put it on the card where you want it to be. Now it might look tiny, but this is going to be 6.394 inches across and almost an inch tall. Now for the bottom of the card, I want it to look a little bit special. So I'm going to add a third layer to this project by duplicating this red heart and putting my boyfriend's name on top of it. Now I'm going to change this to be a cutout. So I want to find a chunky enough text so that it stands out. I'm going to use this blank shark text. I think it's cute. Once you have it the size you want and where you want it, you can hold down Shift and the heart and then click Slice. Now whenever it's layered, you'll see that there'll be a difference in color that comes out. I'm also going to add a couple of other little hearts in my big one. And just slice them out one at a time. So I'm just duplicating the shapes over and over, and I'll delete them one at a time. Or you can leave it just like this and attach it. It's up to you how much effort you want to put into it. I'm going to keep just one heart for now. I'm going to click on the font and bring it all the way up to the front. And to get it to stay exactly where you want it, you need to select it and then select the shape behind it and attach them together. The font might look like it's disappeared. Cricut Design Space does that sometimes, but if you see here, it does show that it's there. Sometimes if you change the color back to something else, all of a sudden it'll work again. But it is there even if you don't see it. As long as you see it on your layers panel, you're good. Now whenever you cut these, you're going to want to cut them out of ideally different color cardstock so that you really see the design on top of one another. This will go on the front side This will go on the back side, and if you decided to do a third cut and slice out pieces, just duplicate it beforehand to have a middle piece. For this project I used 65-pound cardstock and any Cricut pen. A couple of different writing fonts that work well with the draw that you can get onto font are here on the side of the video. No matter what font you use, it's always going to use an outline if it's a downloaded font and you try to draw it. That's normal with the Cricut pens. Unless you get a font from Cricut, it's always going to do that outline. If you try to use a font that's as thin as possible, it's not as noticeable. For example, this Bradley hand font. You could also use a thicker marker. That helps solve the problem. Any font that's like this, very thin, is ideal to use your pen for. You probably won't even notice the outline because it's so fine. Thank you for watching. Good luck.